Ha my hearties. There you are, fantastic. Lovely to be with you, and a big dinky do to you, I say. Now, a very warm welcome to our TikTokers as well. Lovely to have you with us. And the time just 9 o'clock. Fantastic. And it's Wednesday night with our international phone-in, the internet phone-in. Dinky-Doo la beachy. How wonderful of you to be there. Just absolutely incredible. Checking that everything's fine here, of course, for your phone, so you can make sure you're on with us. You're live on Scottie McCLUE. Who's that?
Martin, Scottie, how you doing, son?
Martin, lad, how are you, son? Are you all right?
Yes, plus as well, I have bet Kareem as well, plus.
You have bet Kareem tonight. You did very, very well. You must have been very quick off the mark.
I was, buddy. Thank you. For
Absolutely. There's Thomas Hamilton saying hello, and Kian saying good evening, Scottie, and Drewski in North America saying good evening, Scottie. Isn't that lovely?
Yes.
International Martin?
Yes.
Yes, you need to mind your P's and Q's.
Yes.
What's happening?
Thank you for that and lovely song last night. It was really nice. How's your day been?
Did you like your wee song last night?
Yes, I did.
Good, absolutely. And how's your day been?
My day's been great. My birthday was great last night. I went to premiere, like I said, last night.
Lovely.
And I spent the rest of the night with my partner, and then I watched a nice movie and did other bits and bobs. And I've just found out that the markets are cancelled at Glasgow, and that is not a good thing because of all the cops. 26.
What's cancelled?
All the markets are cancelled at Glasgow because of the cops. 26.
Oh, because of the cop. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think that's fair enough. If you're having something as big as this, then you do need to get on with it. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
And have you noticed there's a lot more police around?
Yeah,
Yes, there's a big police presence, Martin. There's Shane saying hello, Scottie. Hello, Dr. Shane. Dinky-Doo, Martin. This is amazing. They're all piling in from all over the planet.
Lovely. So I have seen you've got over 2,000 subscribers, and I've just checked how many you've got. You've got over 2,000.
What have I got on YouTube?
2,000.
2,000. That's wonderful. Well, by the end of tonight, we should have 3,000 if everybody subscribes to YouTube.
So
that would be lovely, and rightly so, says Ricky. How about that?
Has Susan been in the chat?
Well, wait and I'll tell you who is in the chat right now. Right, Kareem's in. He says, hello. Evening from the Mac, says Tony. Good evening, Scottie, from Lily. And hello, Scottie, one and all, says Kareem. And there's not 1 ounce of annoyance at you getting on first. Isn't that lovely?
Good.
What a lovely man, our Kareem.
Yeah, Kareem's nice.
He's the best, isn't he? Just absolutely amazing. There's Murray O'Donnell. Evening, Scottie. It's a cold one tonight. It certainly is, Murray. Murray's out in the wilds of Scotland.
Today, I heard another firework today down at Drawson, so I heard that. So quite loud today. So
very loud.
But I still want fireworks still to be banned.
So. Yes, I think that's a good one. Martin, I shall put that out to the many nations watching, and we shall see what is what.
Yes, buddy.
Dinky-Doo, my boy.
Dinky-Doo. Love you, matey. Bye.
Love you lots. Take care. All the very best, Martin. Top man. Bye now, La. There we are. That's our Martin. What an absolute topper. Isn't that fabulous? Dinky-Doo, I say. Yes, a very, very cold one tonight. So keep nice and warm, guys. Very, very important. It's snowing here in North America, says Drewski. Snow in North America, guys. There we are. Dinky-Doo, good afternoon, Scottie. DD from Philadelphia. We love it. How do I call in? You go to the YouTube channel. You'll see the URL below my bio. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hello, Scottie. How are we?
Ah, Kareem, I was just saying, there's you with not even an ounce of annoyance that Martin got on first.
Well done to Martin. No, not at all.
He must have been. He must have been up half the night.
Well, Scottie, I'll be honest. I've got you on my big screen again on my TV.
Wow!
But I've actually got you on both. I've bought a new phone, and I'm just, it's like when you get a new phone and you're putting in all your passwords.
Oh, listen, it's a nightmare, Kareem. Don't worry too much. Don't use us as a distraction because you've got a lot of work to do.
Well, I've got you on the big screen, and I've moved you all from one phone to the other, so it's fabulous. All fine. I've only got one thing to sign in, which is my Virgin account, and I cannot remember anything.
No, you'll have to go through all that again. Now, what was I going to say? There we are. Hang on a wee second. I'll just get rid of 60 inches of idiot. Right, there's 60 inches of total idiot going down the Swanee. How fabulous is that? Oh, yes. Down the Swanee with him. Isn't that beautiful? We love getting rid of idiots, Kareem, because it cleans the world up.
Yes, it does. And they can think and reflect on the stupidity.
Yeah, he's now banned himself from the world's top talk show.
Absolutely.
What a halfwit! What could have halfwit does that? It's like going to somebody's house for the first time and showing bad manners.
Yeah.
You're not going to get asked back,
No, muddy shoes coming in, walking in your carpet.
Muddy shoes, absolutely, all that stuff. Yes, indeed. Do you know that on a shoot, it's regarded as very bad manners to have a badly behaved dog?
Ah, right,
yes. Okay. So you can be banned from a shoot. You wouldn't notice. You would just wonder why you never got invited anymore.
Yeah.
See, they used to invite me shooting, but for some reason they don't, and I don't know why. And it's because your dog was running about frightening the birds, and nobody could get a shot off in case they shot the dog.
Oh goodness, yes. Well, there we go.
Isn't that interesting?
Well, my two just now, Scottie, the fireworks haven't been that bad tonight, but the odd loud ones are going off. That's 2 nights in a row that I've got one on the lead because if she sees foxes, she's away after them because it's dark earlier. But the older one, she's running straight home whenever she hears anything. Wherever we are, she's just running straight home.
Interesting. I used to live out in the country in Yorkshire, and when there was a shoot on, old Reith by that stage was getting gun shy. And he used to just make his way home rather than go past the shoot. And I would see him in the distance. And I'll tell you what else happened. We lived in Manchester before that, and we used to walk round a golf course. And the golf course had a huge fence, which was onto a residential area. And Reith was walking past one day, and a golf ball struck the fence. Now, it was on the other side, so it didn't affect him or anything. But obviously, the whole fence vibrated terrifically. And Reith would not walk that way again.
Oh, he must have gotten a fright.
Yeah, he just would not walk that way again. And for some reason, Clyde was very, very, very brave. But for some reason, when we crossed a bridge, Reith would shake and walk low and go over it really quickly. Very interesting.
Might have been scared of heights, no?
Well, no, I don't know it was the heights. I think he just knew he was crossing water. And some wooden bridges and metal bridges vibrate. And he would start to shiver a little bit, and then he would go over it, but he would go down low and hurry up.
Oh, well, smart dog.
Smart dog, and the same with the lock at the canal.
Right.
He would go on it, but he would go, I'm getting over this quick.
They're so clever. We don't deserve animals, Scottie.
No, they are so clever, Kareem. They are so clever. There's Max Turner saying, do you still remember me? I was here from the start. That lovely.
That's excellent.
Lovely turnout to Ibrox for Walter's last visit today, says Murray O'Donnell. Absolutely, Murray. We salute him. Bless Walter and condolences to the family. Good evening, Scottie, says Alex Robertson, our wonderful actor. Murray says, my brother's father-in-law took his labs to the shoot as young dogs, and they loved fireworks.
Goodness. I've not seen anything today, Scottie, yet on much on social media about Walter Smith. I've heard it in the radio, but no doubt there'll be stuff coming later tonight or tomorrow about him passing Ibrox. But one thing, just two wee quick things. First one was I found quite interesting. I'm sure some listeners will have been affected that are from Glasgow, that the amount of protests and just a bit of chaos has been happening in city centre with these protesters just sitting in roads and blocking places off, and people.
You see, I don't find it. I mean, I would empathise with the fact that they're making a protest, but I find it very strange. And there's something of a dichotomy, because the world leaders should actually be supporting the protest, if you see what I mean.
They should be out there with them.
Yes.
Just, hello, we know what you're doing. Thank you for doing this, and we'll be doing our best inside.
Yes, just going out and having a word. But I think this sitting down, gluing yourself, sitting in front of cars, that's not smart at all.
No.
So instead of having mothers screaming, I'm trying to take my son to school, they should be having a proper conversation.
Yeah. Well, what happens if you've got an elderly person trying to get by, and you know that they're not, they might be difficult to see, or whatever the circumstances, and they actually hit and kill a protester?
Yeah.
That's going to have to be in their conscience that they've committed an accident, naturally, but they've took a life, and you wouldn't wish that upon anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Apparently, there's lots on Twitter, Kareem, says Murray. That must be talking about Walter.
All right. I don't have Twitter, sadly. So yeah.
Anybody that's got Twitter, then go on and check out about Walter Smith, please. Murray is looking there. And also, when you're on Twitter, follow at Scottie McCLUE.
There was a fantastic picture, Scottie, that I added you, which it just shows you, the contrast with the face and hope and light, in terms of you had President Joe Biden and Nicola Sturgeon.
Oh, I can't believe, Kareem, I think you and I must be septic, because, we come up with the same ideas. And I just looked at that before I came on. I was setting up my phone for the TikTok, and I saw Nicola with Joe Biden, and it was the most gorgeous picture.
Yes, it was.
And I think she will have absolutely been a star.
Yeah, yes.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. She is a star.
Yeah, and I'm sure behind closed doors she'll have been speaking. I mean, at the end of the day, it's for the obviously the world and to prevent pollution, but there'll be countries interested in Scotland as well, and she'll be making contacts and networking.
Yes. Yes.
Very important. And you never know. Well, I'm sure Joe has said that he would support an independent Scotland. So I know a lot of unionists are not happy with that picture at all.
Well, I told you the story, Kareem. America nearly had a monarchy, and it was Bonnie Prince Charlie.
Yes.
And remember, I think you and I chatted about that before. So there we go.
Yes. The last thing I wanted to say, I don't know too much about this, but it's definitely an interesting read if you get time later on, that the Westminster just passed, it was a bill, I think it's about 250 to whatever it was underneath that, and it was about sleaze and corruption, and it was about, I won't name any names, but it was about a politician, Conservative politician.
Yes, and they were getting in line behind him to support him.
Yes.
And somebody said that they were making changes in the law.
Well, they brought in, they had an independent committee to do the investigation, which went against them. They now brought in another committee, which was their pals, their old friends, etc. And they've now changed this law, which is basically allowing a bit of sleaze and corruption. And I can't believe that if this was to happen up in the Scottish Parliament, if there was just a whiff of that.
Oh, there would be hell on. Heads would roll. What somebody's just said, how's this for feedback, Kareem? You've just said this, and Mr. Solo, who I call Napoleon, has just fed back and says, Scottie, the Tories stunt today. Have they just killed our democracy?
That's what we're talking about. I think they've done that for years now. The only problem is, Scottie, you know yourself, England is a conservative country, and it does not matter what the Tories do, they'll be always voted back in. And I've said this before, and I've been shot down by many people. Back in 2014, even if you do not vote Tory up here in Scotland, you did that day by being part of the UK, which is a Tory UK. And as long as we're part of the UK, we are always going to be Tory. So effectively, you're voting.
Mr. Solo says the UK has become a banana republic.
Well, I really hope people here in Scotland notice this and sit up and take this on account. I really hope it's not goldfish memory, and really take account what's happening, and not to forget this is going to be a long cold winter, Scottie.
Oh yes,
there's a lot of families,
very expensive as well. I am dreading the utilities.
Well, with the gas and electricity going up, with petrol going up, with the benefits being cut, you know, I really hope people really take into account, is this what they really voted to be a part of?
Yes. Did they vote for their beautiful country to go from free to everybody just being a serf and paying everybody except themselves? Because that's what it is. You'll find that when your salary comes in, everyone will get paid except you. Yep. Everything will go out the door as fast as it comes in. What about this? Love your YouTube, Scottie. I subscribed yesterday, even though I watch your lives here, says Kian. We've got 3,500 likes on the TikTok. And what about a response like that when you're talking, everybody's chipping in?
Excellent.
This is the phone-in working as it should. Never mind the future, it's here, happening now. We just need to build the audience.
We're making the future, Scottie.
We are making the future. We are making internet history. Love it.
Well, listen, Scottie, thank you again for taking my call. Have a great night. And I might do a second call depending on some of the calls.
See how you go. Your call's outstanding. I thank you very much, Kareem. Dinky-Doo.
Thanks, Scottie. Night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Night, night, la. What a top man, our Kareem. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that? Hello? Do you speak, or are you non-verbal? Lots of stuff going on here. She's had the same dress on. That's fantastic, Murray. You're naive to think there are no Tories in Scotland, Kareem. I'm not one of them, by the way. Scotland used to be Labour before divisive nationalism took hold. I don't think nationalism is divisive. We would need to address what anybody's worry is and make sure we have that. If it's a question of keeping the Queen, then we are keeping the Queen. If it's a question of loyalists to Scotland, then there's no reason why all your loyalists can't walk and march under the saltire. There we are. Float eye lights for Scottie boy. Tap, tap, tappity, tap, tappity, tappity, tap. Are you from Ireland? Says Rona. Everybody's from Ireland to a greater or lesser extent, Rona. If you check out my latest TikTok video, tell me what you think about it. So you'll see it. The very latest TikTok video. Check it out. Ditch the Union flag for the saltires, as all the sevens. Cheaper to live in my caravan, £20 for the gas, and that lasts 3 months. Excellent, John Boy. I know your voice from somewhere. Have you done any voiceover work? Nathan, over the last 40 years, I've done acres and acres of voiceover work. So there you are. If you want to sell your product, you come to Scottie McCLUE for his voice. There we go. Wonderful stuff. Now, great results. So, Danny, why do you think the nationalism is divisive in Scotland? It is in England, but I don't think so in Scotland. I think it's been very unifying. So there you have it. I mean, Labour are in the wilderness. It's all very well saying Labour used to be the party in power. They're in the wilderness. 1 in 4 people have heard this voice. All the sevens, 2 billion people worldwide have heard of Scottie McClue. Follow us as soon as you come on, guys. Dinky-Doo, the wee hoops there. Tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10 to tell 10. Says all the sevens. Absolutely. There we are. Fantastic. How's the chat doing, guys? Get yourselves on here and let's hear from you, I say. So there we go. I'm going to have to sort that. We're not on Twitch tonight. We're going straight for YouTube and for Facebook Live. And TikTok, of course, goes without saying. Beautiful, beautiful TikTokers. Subscribe and tap the bell to the YouTube channel, TikTokers. You'll see the URL just below my TikTok bio. Tell me when you've subscribed. Can you say hi to Kieran? I can. Hi, everybody. Moose. Dinky-Doo Oswino says, hi, Dinky-Doo Oswino. How lovely to have you with us, I say. Now then, what else is happening? There we are. Fantastic. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see what we're having here. Nationalism is nationalism is nationalism. Just a different flag. Sturgeon and Farage are 2 peas in a pod. I see what you mean. Well, I would have said Scottish nationalism is the antithesis of English nationalism. English nationalism is the far right. Scottish nationalism is slightly left of centre. I love you, says Caspila. Caspila, what a lovely, lovely thing to say. And Dinky-Doo, the perfect Dinky-Doo meerkat. Where do you fall in the political spectrum? I am totally apolitical. I don't do politics at all. But I would say economically, Scotland would do very, very well. But Westminster does not want Scotland to go because Scotland very, very heavily subsidises Westminster. And if Scotland left without the oil and gas, then Westminster couldn't meet their balance of payments. So that's why they're hanging on to it with a vice-like grip. Civic nationalism is the polar opposite to English nationalism. Quite right, Mr. Solo, or may I call you Napoleon? There we are. All right, pal, how's it going? Caspila says, yeppa! Wonderful. I love you. How many phone calls and people do you think you've spoken to? A rough guess. Mad respect. Well, we used to have 460,000 phone calls in 1 week. I hold the record for phone calls to a radio station. So let's just say there was around the 450,000 calls most weeks for about 20 years. You know, work that one out. Can you say hi to my friend TJ? I can. Can you say yappa? I can. I dig the Napoleon tag, Scottie. Do you like that, Mr. Solo? Do you get it? Do you know where it comes from? There we are. Have you ever heard of Alex Belfield? Heard of him? Alex Belfield is a worldwide YouTube star. 300 million people have watched Alex Belfield's video. 300 million. I know Scottie McClue is known to 2 billion, and I used to have 250,000 every half hour. But Alex Belfield has got about 375,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. I think every single one of them should subscribe to Scottie McClue and send me a quid. Can you say hello to Scott? Dinky-Doo? He's not a patch on you, says all the sevens. Well, I think I taught him all he knows. We Geordie Scott FM. I phoned Alex Belfield because I was very, very annoyed with him because he'd called Scotland Nicky Nacky Newland. And I said, you just cannot do that. And he was wild. He was swearing at me and everything. I can't get through, Scottie. Glenn, we've been very, very busy tonight. Let's see if we can get Glenn through from the Midlands, guys. Dinky-Doo. It's sad that Nicola Sturgeon isn't getting more coverage in the media at COP26 in Glasgow. I think the other leaders are frightened that she gets into the limelight, I think. Not the other leaders. I think Westminster are frightened she steals the day. You're live in Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Sup, Corey?
It's what? You're a Tory. Ah, lovely, lovely. Right. Well, thank you for that. There we are, Glenn. We've just had a Tory on. So you can give us a call now. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Delivery system from...
Oh, we don't know who that is. The calls aren't working. You're live on Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Hi, Scottie, it's Emma.
Emma, hello, Dinky-Doo.
DINKY-DOO, how are you?
Very, very well. Lovely to hear you. What's happening?
I'm good, thanks. To you?
Yeah, absolutely, Emma. What can I do for you, my dear?
So how's your
Oh, is it your Emma Martin? Excellent.
Oh, you're not the ambassador. Say that's in person. That phone call. That person was a bit odd saying that to you.
Very, very odd. I think they maybe had a wee bit of trouble upstairs, Martin.
I know.
You know, maybe their lift didn't go all the way to the top story.
I know.
You see, you'll get that though. You see, they would like to hold a conversation, but it's a challenge, you know.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your least favorite TV series? You don't.
Oh, I don't have anything least favorite, Martin. I like everything, or I just don't watch it.
Do you remember all the kids shows? All the
Yes, I remember Blue Peter from the 1950s. I can go right back to Watch with Mother. And on a Monday you had Picture Book. On a Tuesday you had Andy Pandy and Looby Loo. On a Wednesday you had Bill and Ben the Flower Pot Men. A whoppity pop or slub-a-dub-dub. Weed. On Thursday, you had Ragtag and Bobtail. And on Friday, you had the Wooden Tops. And they were your kind of nuclear family.
I have got some more shows for you.
In fact, I can go back further. I can go back to Muffin the Mule. And Muffin the Mule was presented. Muffin was a wee mule puppet. And it was presented by Annette Mills. And Annette Mills was the sister of Sir John Mills, one of our greatest actors. What about that now, Martin?
What about Rosie and Jim?
Rosie and Jim. What about Jeffrey, Bungle and Zippy and Rainbow?
Yes.
Yes. What about Grotbags the Witch? Yes. Now what about Cracker Jack with Leslie Crowther and Peter Glaze?
Yes.
What about Take Heart with Tony Hart? Claire McAndrews just sent that one in.
Art Attack.
Art Attack. What about the 1 O'Clock Gang?
Yes.
Magnus has just sent that one in. Yes. What about Tales of the Riverbank?
Yes.
Yes. What about that? That's amazing. What about How? Did you ever watch How?
Yes, I did.
Yes. With Fred Dinage. Do you know that Fred has just retired from the news at the television station down south?
Wow.
What about that? Tony's wondering if you need a passport. I don't know if he means a vaccination passport to travel to the Irish Republic. The UK is not part of the EU anymore, and Ireland still is. Anybody be able to answer Tony's question? Do you need a passport to go from the United Kingdom to Ireland? Claire says Bagpuss. Do you remember Bagpuss?
Yes.
Yes. Do you remember the Jetsons? Do you remember Thunderbirds?
Yes.
Do you remember Stingray?
Yes. Pingu.
Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons?
Yes.
Fireball XL5?
Yes.
The Muppets? What about that?
Yes.
Yes. Finger Bobs. Claire's just said Finger Bobs. She's very good at this. There's all the sevens saying wow, just wow. They love this phone in. Wee Geordie says, Scott FM. That was Scotland's finest radio hour ever.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
What about Trumpton and Camberwick Green, says Lily.
Yes.
I've got one for you, Martin. What about the Magic Roundabout?
Oh, yes. Now you're talking.
What about Top Cat?
Yeah, Top Cat, yes.
Officer Dibble.
Ah.
Yes. Thomas the Tank Engine, says Glenn.
Oh, yes.
Yes, now you're talking. How old were you back then presenting? So there you are, says Professor Nupteheed.
Yeah. What about Pingu?
What about Postman Pat?
Yes.
Blue Peter. What about Blue Peter with Valerie Singleton and Christopher Trace?
Yes.
And then they were joined by John Noakes. And then what about Peter Purvis joined them? I remember these. Leslie Judd. Wow, isn't that Karen Keating, the late Karen Keating, lovely, lovely lady, sadly no longer with us, passed away far too young. There we are, all the sevens. They're saying they're not a patch on Scottie McClue. Some Scott wants neighbours, others want masters. 57, Scottie, I loved the man from Uncle. Wow, isn't that amazing? What about Glenn Michael's Cartoon Cavalcade and Basil Brush Boom Boom, says Tony Mack. What about Round the Twist, says Louise. What about Barley McGrew? I think they mean Barney McGrew. Phew, Barney McGrew. There we are. And Popeye the Sailor. What about Popeye the Sailor?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, what about that?
Yes.
What about Captain Pugwash?
Yes, I love that. Wacky and races.
What?
Wacky races.
Oh, the Wacky Races, yes. What about Motley?
Yes.
Yes. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
What about John Craven's News Round?
Yes.
Glenn's put that one in, isn't that wonderful? Dinky-Doo.
Dinky-Doo.
Fantastic, Martin. Lovely to hear you. There we are, to the telephones, guys, as quickly as possible. You're live at Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
It's Charlie, Scottie. Good evening.
Charlie, how are you? Lovely to hear you.
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Well, Charlie, I'm absolutely over the moon because this phone in is beautiful.
Excellent. Good.
Do you not think so?
It is. It really is.
We set out to do it, and it's happening right before our eyes.
6 days a week, Scottie.
And Charlie, you want to see the interest in it from the profession, the phone calls and the emails I'm getting.
That's great. That's great. Now, Scottie, the last caller there mentioned all these different TV shows. It got me thinking.
Well, actually, he didn't mention many of them. We mentioned them all to him. Poor soul.
I understand, but it got me thinking. No, there's you know how there's going to be this. Steve Coogan's going to be doing the recreation of Jimmy Savile.
Yes, I don't know that I want to talk about that, Charlie, to be honest. Even to hear that name, you know what I mean?
You know, exactly. But I just think, these types of shows, and even, the ITV production of Dennis.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like anything negative because there's too much negative actually in the world, and we need to positivize that, Charlie. So no disrespect, of course, to your good self, but I don't want to discuss that.
No, that's fine. No, that's fine, Scott.
Do you know, because there's so many good things on here. There's so much fun. There's so much laughter. And there's, mainstream media is failing the people at the moment. Every show you look at, there's murders, there's death, there's criminals. I want to see a much cleaner, much happier, much more positive world.
Yeah, absolutely, Scottie. And as I say, it's just, I just wanted to say just one thing about it, though. Is about, I think if the networks are going to create that type of program, then I think that's where it ends, you know. But don't be advertising it, you know. If you got it, catch up and then be, you know, up for awards, etc.
No, they should ask themselves, why are they doing it? We don't want to. I mean, right at the height of the pandemic and lockdown, I was going through the radio program, the television programs, and there was one on Hindley and Brady.
Exactly.
And I thought, we need to give all this a rest. Give the people comedies.
Yeah.
Let's have On the Buses back. Let's have Are You Being Served back.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kenny Everett back.
Kenny Everett, fantastic. And that'd be Dinky-Doo. Now you're talking.
Absolutely.
Neil O'Gormley says Fred Dinage is still presenting ITV Meridian down south. He was on tonight and last night. Is that not amazing?
That's great, isn't it? That's great, Scottie. And the other thing, just quickly as well, about these fireworks, Scottie.
Yes.
There's a shop just around the corner from me. It's a pop-up shop that's selling fireworks. And I mean, I don't know who they're selling to. I certainly don't buy them or anything, but they're going off. And my wee dog, it's you know, it's only been this year she's kind of scared of them. I don't know why, whether they're getting louder or whatever. But I think they need to. I was reading up, you know, apparently you need to be like licensed to sell them.
Yes, you will do license to sell fireworks because they're dangerous.
Absolutely.
And in the wrong hands.
Exactly. And you know, when you see these pop-up shops, you just wonder whether they've got the licenses. I hope, you know, the police and that are checking all these kind of things, and the council are checking them. But I honestly think, you know, they need to outlaw the sale of them and just allow it for councils. If they're going to do it, then let councils buy them.
Yes, absolutely. Top stuff. Good point, Charlie. Lovely hearing from you again, and Dinky-Doo, sir.
Dinky-Doo, Scottie.
Dinky-Doo, Charlie. Thank you very much. There we are. Poor old Charlie, I hope he didn't mind, but I don't want any negative stuff on our phone-in. Very true, Scottie McClue. Thank you, Stallion Fishkeeping. Mrs. Slocum's innuendos were brilliant. Absolutely, Magnus. You're live on Scotty's phone-in. Who's that?
Hiya, Scottie. I finally got through.
You got through. We've been busy tonight, Glenn.
A lady came up on the automated service saying the call is currently unavailable.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been absolutely mobbed tonight.
Scottie, I'm not going to fetch it up or anything. I've just been reading about what that gentleman's just said anyway about BBC showing a certain thing.
Yeah.
You know, a drama based on that person.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Scottie, what is going on with the British Broadcasting Company at the moment, do you reckon?
I don't know what they're thinking of at all, you know. I mean, the whole thing, you know what I mean? You know, you can never, ever, you could explain some of it. You can never, ever excuse it.
My cousins were on there when they were younger, Scottie. Thank God nothing happened, you know.
Yeah.
They got, you know, Rosette and all that stuff, whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. That's that. No, I think it's bad news.
Yeah, they were on the show anyway when they were younger.
Absolutely. You're on TikTok, Glenn.
I am, Scottie. Yeah.
Check out my latest TikTok video from today. You'll get a smile.
I will do, yeah, definitely.
Murray says they're explosives after all, so you're selling explosives to young people.
Scottie, do you think...
Pyrotechnics.
Scottie, do you think broadcasting has gone a bit down then?
Well, of course it has. That's why I've started out on my own, because I'm just appalled at the mess that television and radio's in.
Television's going to be dark, isn't it?
Happy news. There we are. No bad or sordid news, says all the seven.
Scottie, you do get some comedy on, don't you?
You get little bits, but it's not terribly funny. I've watched some of these comedian shows, No Names, No Pack Drill, and I haven't even cracked a smile.
Have you not?
Oh, wait till I tell you this. And a half-wit on the TikTok tonight said, I forgot to laugh. Is this supposed to be funny? So I'm never supposed to be funny. If you find me funny, that's up to you.
If not, it doesn't appeal to everybody, does it? They just need to get a life.
There somebody says, up the Royal Artillery and for the Queen. Thank you, Fras. God save the Queen, I agree.
Some people just seriously need to get a life, don't they?
They need to get a life. Somebody saying, bring back 1 foot in the grave. And what do you think of the Vicar of Dibley?
Scottie, a twist for it. Victor comes back from the dead.
Yeah.
That'd be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it?
That'd be wonderful, isn't it? So we've got that. Yes.
Victor, Richard Wilson, me and you have spoke about him before. He's a fantastic actor, isn't he?
Yes. Oh, fantastic. He's a Greenock man, the same as myself.
I mean, what was the hospital drama? Only When I Laugh.
Only When I Laugh. Fantastic. Was that James Bolam as well?
James Bolam, the guy with the moustache.
How good is
Peter
he?
Bowles.
Who's that?
Peter Bowles, was it?
Peter Bowles, fantastic. He was also into The Manor Born.
With Penelope Keith.
Yeah, Penelope Keith. That was brilliant. Another comedy. What about The Good Life with Richard Bryars and that was excellent as well. Felicity Kendall, Penelope Keith, Paul Eddington. What about Yes, Minister?
Yeah.
Are You Being Served?
Oh, fantastic! Then they brought another sequel back, didn't they? When they were in like a farm kind of thing.
Fantastic. We loved all that.
Yeah, Molly Sugden.
Molly Sugden, she was amazing. Do you remember, Glenn, Molly Sugden and Jimmy Clitheroe, the Clitheroe Kid?
I vaguely heard of it.
Yeah, that was on the radio, and then it went on the telly. I used to listen to the Clitheroe Kid. Ta-ra, Mum.
I mean, you can get audio cassettes for sitcoms, can't you?
I think I should be doing television and radio comedy, you know.
A narrative, being a narrator, Scottie.
Yes, that would be the thing.
As a comedy narrator, yeah. You know,
there's
like
a guy saying earlier, he says, there we are. Thank you, Ligma. Dinky-Doo to you. The Avengers.
Yeah, Thunderbirds.
Thunderbirds. What about the ITC? What about the Baron? The Champions? Randall and Hopkirk, Deceased? What about The Saint with Roger Moore as Simon Templar?
Super Grand, Scottie.
Super Grand, Gudrun Ur, fantastic actress on the buses. George and Mildred. What about Rising Damp?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Leonard Rossiter, yeah.
Leonard Rossiter, what a brilliant actor, Leonard Rossiter. Do you hear his articulation?
They tried to bring it back, but...
Hello, hello. I love Hello, hello. Dad's Army.
Wurzel Gummidge has been revamped, Scottie, as well.
Do you think revamping works well?
I don't, to be honest with you.
No, I don't think so. I think the originals. What about On the Buses? Do you like that? Reg Vardy.
Fantastic stuff.
Yes, indeed. Blakey ended up in Last Summer Wine.
I'll get you, Butler.
Oh, I'll get you, Butler. I'll get this bus out of here, Butler. The Saint, smashing. Who needs TV when you have Dinky-Doo, says Beachy Beachy. Simply fabulous.
Gene Alexander, Scottie.
Gene Alexander, tremendous.
Jeffrey Hughes.
Yeah, tremendous. What about our dear friend Bill Owen?
Yeah, Bill Owen, yeah.
Bill Owen, how amazing is that?
Peter Sallis.
Peter Sallis. Can I tell you, when I was in Yorkshire, Glen, they were filming it round the corner from my house. And they all had caravans. It said on the caravans, Frank Thornton, Peter Sallis. One night I thought, brilliant. I was walking the dog, walking Lord Reith, and the one behind me there. And here's Frank Thornton and Peter Sallis coming towards me. Now, I'd seen them actually filming in the afternoon. And the lovely, lovely floor manager said, sorry, sir, did you want to go past? And I had to go past, but I really didn't. I wanted to stand and watch. Anyway, I saw Frank Thornton and Peter Sallis coming up, and I thought, brilliant. And they got closer and closer and closer. I said, I've got to say hello, right? And when they got close, they were lookalikes. And they looked outstanding, and they were wearing all the same gear.
Yeah, the raincoats and everything.
And what about this? Claire McAndrew says, only fools and horses the best.
Brilliant stuff.
What about the Invisible Man, says Keith? Never seen him for years.
Land of the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. Who needs Dinky-Doo, says Chris, when you've got Floatie McClue?
Scottie, you would have been walking into a cafe last summer wine.
I'd have loved that.
You'd have played a brilliant part walking in.
Yeah, just a nice walking part there. How do?
No, the Betsy's like, what's he doing here?
What's he doing here? I'll tell you. Can I buy you a cup of tea, love?
Kathy Staff, yeah.
Yeah, Kathy Staff. Oh, stop your nonsense, or I'll take me broom to you.
Thora Heard.
Thora Heard. Oh, Thora Heard. What about Thora Heard and the monologues, Alan Bennett?
Yeah.
Do you know, Glenn, wait till you hear this, 6,400 likes on TikTok.
Oh, you can't beat it, can you?
6,400 right now.
And it's only been going.
We've only been going 7 weeks. What's going on?
So what's it going to be like after 7 years?
Oh, 7 years. What's to do?
7 years. Oh, no.
The place to be. Scottie says Stallion Fish. Comedy isn't comedy anymore. For instance, Keith Lemon guy uses vulgar language. Oh, dear.
Hyle Bennett, Scottie.
Who's it? Hyle Bennett? Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic stuff.
The guy who played Malcolm and Watching.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah. What about Tales of the Unexpected?
Well, brilliant. You can't beat nostalgia, can you?
Well, this is it. Do you remember a Saturday night, The Professionals?
I vaguely remember it.
Tales of the Unexpected.
Yeah. I mean, the show on ITV terrestrial channel still, don't they?
Heart to Heart. What about that one? Minder. What about this one? Stephen Menz says, good evening, Scottie. I find very little comedy-wise to laugh at. I still put in old 70s and 80s comedies. Only exception, Still Game, Two Doors Down. The wonderful Elaine C. Smith is brilliant.
100% agree with you on that one, yeah.
There you go. So that's our Stephen. Stephen's a wonderful man. He keeps the railways running. The Comedians. Hey, do you remember Charlie and the Comedians?
I do, yeah.
Lovely Yorkshireman. What's to do with E-Flower?
Colin Crompton.
Colin Crompton. Bernard Manning.
Yeah.
I met Bernard. I says, hi, Bernard. He goes, hello, son. Mike Reid. Benny Hill.
Yeah.
Do you remember Dick Emery?
I do, yeah.
Ramsey Nisbet. Bodie and Doyle.
Eric
Sykes. Do you know Eric Sykes was deaf?
Was it?
And see these glasses he wore? There was no glass in them, or it was just fake glass. They were hearing specs.
Yeah.
And he was lip reading Hattie Jakes. Come on, Hat.
And the guy who played the copper.
Oh, Derek Guyler.
Yeah.
He was the cop. He was brilliant. He was also the janitor in Please Sir, wasn't he?
I think he was, yeah.
Yes.
Bobby and Tommy and Cannon and Ball.
What about French and Saunders? Cannon and Ball, brilliant.
Little and Large.
Little and Large.
Morecambe and Wise.
Morecambe and Wise. When I was doing the phone-in at Red Rose, Preston and Blackpool, somebody said, Sid Little's on phone, Scottie. I said, it must be a wind-up. He says, no, it's him. He said, because I've phoned him back. He wants to have a chat with you.
Fantastic.
Isn't that lovely? Scottie Live, you've got more things up on the wall. I have Beachy Beachy. Shall we show Beachy Beachy?
Joe Longthorne, Scottie, the singer.
Joe Longthorne sadly just passed away, hasn't he?
Yeah, definitely good singer, yeah.
Yeah, bless him. Lovely singer. Yeah. Fantastic. Wonderful. Very brave guy. There we are. Tremendous. Chips, says Claire. I went to bed at most of these, says Claire. She must have been tiny at the time. Do you remember Z Cars?
I do, yeah.
Da, 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 da. We used to get put to bed, and my mum and dad watched Z Cars, so we'd sneak down and hide behind the settee and watch it.
Brilliant.
Big Archie, hello, Gov. Absolutely, Chris. Tremendous, Scottie. Just tremendous, says Drewski.
It's just, they've just got a lot to learn, this new generation, haven't they?
Well, they have to do it, and I think they should be listening to Scottie McClue, every single one of them.
Definitely. Scottie, you should have done comedy. You should have done comedy, to be honest.
Well, I don't know. A guy said to me tonight with the TikTok video, sorry, is this funny? I forgot to laugh. So I said, is your mind playing tricks on you, your memory? Do you know what I mean? I said, we've never ever said it was funny, so we're not trying to be funny. It's up to thee.
You're definitely the sharpest tool, Scottie, are you?
Hey, Glenn, 6,500 likes.
Yeah.
Right now, tonight, 6,500 likes.
You think your intelligence has progressed over years now, Scottie?
I've got an IQ, the last count, 164, and somebody said, hey, that's high.
Yeah.
And these half-witted idiots go, Scottie McCLUE, ha, ha, ha.
Scottie, how do you test your IQ? Then can you do it online?
Yeah, you can do it. No, you can do a test through Mensa. Now, Mensa is an organization that measures intelligence quotient, IQ, intelligence quotient. Now, it's Latin, the word, and it just means a table.
Oh, yeah.
So, Mensa, you would sit round the table.
Yeah.
Isn't that clever?
Is it like multiple choice and stuff online?
Yeah, stuff like that. You probably can do it online now. We used to actually go to a school on a Saturday morning when the children went in and sit an exam.
Brilliant stuff.
You know, you went along, you booked it, and you went along on a Saturday morning to one of the big schools. And there were all these invigilators, and they handed you out the papers, and you did them. My only problem is I probably got very slightly slowed down because I was checking it wasn't a trick question in my mind. I thought, that's too easy for me. I might be getting it wrong. So I would read it again and again. So that might have helped me up. And then wait till I tell you this, Glenn. One Saturday afternoon, a BBC exam came up. This is about 10 years ago. And a wet Saturday afternoon. So I just sat at my computer and I did it. I filled everything in. Then it was on a time thing. There was a red bar going up. Yeah. And the time. So I filled everything in. And then the time expired and it disappeared. I never saw it again. I couldn't get it back or anything to check anything. Then I got a phone call from the BBC and they said, hey, we've got your exam results. I said, are they all right? They went, all right. They're absolutely incredible. They're amazing. I said, well, thank you very much. He went, no, we've got a job for you. And I said, well, do I have to apply? He went, no, you don't have to do a thing. We will be in touch with you with our job. I said, well, that's super. Thank you so much. I never, ever, ever heard another thing. And I would vet very well because I'm a patriot.
Yeah.
So any BBC checking my background, 100% spot on.
Scottie, do you think we test ourselves enough, to be honest?
The what, love?
Do you think we test ourselves enough? We don't do it. You know, intelligence.
Or testing our intelligence. I think we should have had an intelligence test on everyone before the Brexit vote.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of dafties have voted to leave Europe, shot themselves in the foot.
They didn't look at it from an intellectual perspective.
No, not at all. They just thought, hey, we want out Europe and we can wave Union Jack.
Well, we're just patriotic and all that.
Well, they thought they were being patriotic, but they weren't really. It's a bit like the Barnsley folk voting in the Tories because they thought we might get our country back. Our country hadn't been anywhere. So they fell for a whopper. You know what I mean? I mean, imagine after what happened with miners, South Yorkshire voting Tory.
They should have thought about it after that way.
No, they hadn't thought at all. There we go. And they got Boris. Well done. Well done, South Yorkshire, la.
Scottie, a big question mark in there, isn't it?
Bit of a question mark there, Glenn, isn't there?
I mean, I think everything what happens, though, you've got to look at it from both angles.
Oh, well, you have to. I mean, I think they'll have learned the lesson.
Oh, we'll see all that.
Well, we'll see. Well, I can't see. I mean, how much aid have you heard has been going to Barnsley?
No,
how much money has been added to the people of Barnsley's income?
No whatsoever, Scottie, is there?
You know what I mean? How many new benefits have been introduced to South Yorkshire?
Oh, they put one in some gardens.
It's a thought, isn't it?
Oh, they put a few gardens down, they put a few flowers down.
Well, that's the council doing their stuff. Do you know what I mean? Scottie McClue's passed the test twice over, says Chris.
I mean, Scottie takes a waste of money sometimes, isn't it, what we do?
Glenn, I'm losing you now. You're not talking into microphone.
It's a waste of money what they do sometimes, Scottie, isn't it?
Ah, that's better. You're back with us.
Yeah, it's a waste of money sometimes.
Ah, well, I think so. But I like a few flowers in the city centre. Very nice.
I mean, there used to be a bus stop in town in Sheffield. Where where the bus station is.
I know exactly where you are, yeah.
Where the travel place.
Have you ever tried to get across the road from the bus station?
I have, yeah.
That's a day out, isn't it?
Where the swimming bath is.
Bless this house, says Susan in Lancashire.
Where the leisure centre is on corner, Scottie.
Yeah.
Where you walk over the bridge.
Yeah.
And then you've got the tram and the train station just over where are you?
That's it, aye.
You bag them, lad.
Hey, lad, I'll tell thee. Boris Johnson rules, says Steve. We want Scottie as our hero because he's big and strong and tough. TUFF.
Scottie, Boris Johnson rules just like Margaret Thatcher used to.
Absolutely. Hey, Dinky-Doo, Lala.
Nice talking to you.
Lovely talking to you. You're an absolute top man. That's our Glenn. You're live at Scottie's phone in. Who's that?
Right.
Right, matey boy.
What the hell is going on tonight?
What are you at, matey boy?
No, listen, I know I'm looking at the bloody watch. It's 21:57. I've only got 3 minutes.
3 minutes to matey boy. What are you shouting and bawling about?
I am so angry. I am so
matey
angry.
boy, you need to calm down at your age.
Listen, you were on the Glen, that stupid Glen caller from 9:30. I came out the Kelvin Globe Art Gallery from playing at the Dignitaries tonight for COP26.
Fantastic.
I tell you this information, and we've got all this stupid.
Right, can you stop slagging people off? Calm right down and make your point. Otherwise, I'll have to cut you off.
No, I'm not. I'm not happy with the amount of time that these boring callers come on to your show. I've been trying to call you since.
Do you think we should put a limit on the calls?
Of course.
Right.
Absolutely.
So how long should Glenn get then?
5 minutes.
5 minutes for Glenn.
5 minutes.
Right.
Everybody gets 5 minutes because they can't offer any piece of sincere advice, educational advice. They can't be trusted to sit around the right on the bloody lavatory.
Oh!
I'm angry tonight.
Oh! Beachy says, calm the ham. All the 7 says, relax, man. All the 7 says he could crush a grape. They're saying you could crush a grape.
I had many things to talk to you about. I talked to you tonight, but no. Glenn. I'm sorry. That's not good enough.
Right, okay, we take your point. 5 minutes limit.
Just
everybody, 5 minutes.
No, 5 minutes maximum.
5 minutes maximum. Some people just a few seconds.
Boring callers. Absolute boring. Bloody well callers.
Right, spit it out, laddie, says Beachy.
I'm so angry.
All the 7 says you're not angry, you're just jealous.
No,
Jealous, that's your problem. You're green with envy of callers like Glenn.
No, you shut your gob.
Oh! Red card. And we must have a red card here. Red card. I'm going to write out a red card. Shut my gob. Red card for meaty boy. Red card. There, can we all see that? Red card. Oh, I'm going to have to go. We're out of time. Oh, we're out of time. We are out of time. I'm going to have to go. Dinky-Doo.